Have you ever thought about why Ginny Weasley is actually better than Hermione Granger? What if the movies completely erased what made her an amazing character? In today's video, you'll discover why Ginny is one of the most underrated characters in the Harry Potter series. Ginny Weasley often gets overlooked. In the movies, she's barely given any depth, leaving many fans wondering why Harry even fell for her. But in the books, she's a completely different character, strong, independent, and just as brilliant as Hermione, if not more. Many of you asked for a separate video about Ginny after my deep dive into the Weasley family, so let's talk about her story, her strengths, and why she deserves more credit. Born as the youngest Weasley and the only girl, Ginny was adored by her parents but never spoiled. She dreamed of going to Hogwarts, impatiently waiting as her older brothers left before her. Finally, when she turned 11, she was sorted into Gryffindor like the rest of her family. But her first year was a nightmare. She developed a huge crush on Harry Potter, but he barely noticed her. Worse, Lucius Malfoy secretly slipped her Tom Riddle's diary, a Horcrux. The diary took control of her mind, forcing her to release the basilisk hidden in the Chamber of Secrets. She nearly died, but Harry saved her, destroying the diary and freeing her from Voldemort's influence. The guilt haunted her for a long time, and Harry still paid her little attention. But Ginny didn't let that break her. She pushed forward, excelling in school, making her own friends, and becoming an incredible Quidditch player. By her 4th year, she was Gryffindor's seeker, catching the snitch in every match she played. When Voldemort returned and Hogwarts fell under the rule of Dolores Umbridge, Ginny joined Dumbledore's army without hesitation. She became one of its best members, mastering spells that even older students struggled with. She played a key role in several major battles, fighting Death Eaters at the Ministry of Magic at just 14, defending Hogwarts against Voldemort's forces, and even facing off against Bellatrix Lestrange during the Battle of Hogwarts. While Harry ignored her for years, Ginny didn't wait around for him. She dated other boys, proving she wasn't just Harry Potter's future wife. But when Harry finally realized his feelings, she met him as an equal, strong, brave, and unshaken by danger. After Hogwarts, Ginny didn't just become Harry's wife. She played professional Quidditch before transitioning into a career as a sports journalist for the Daily Prophet. She and Harry had 3 children, but she remained her own person, independent and ambitious. Some fans argue that Hermione would have been a better match for Harry, but Ginny had qualities that many overlook. She was just as intelligent as Hermione, often noticing things others missed, like when she figured out that poisoned wine was meant for Dumbledore, not Ron. She was fearless, standing against Death Eaters without hesitation. Unlike Hermione, who was known for her books and brains, Ginny balanced academics, sports, and friendships effortlessly. She had charisma, making friends easily, and even helping bridge the gap between Hermione and Luna Lovegood. While Hermione often struggled with self-doubt, Ginny was steady, rarely letting emotions cloud her judgment. And when it came to defense against the dark arts, even Harry and his teachers recognized her natural talent. Whether you love Ginny or not, she deserves far more credit than she gets. Her marriage to Harry wasn't just a random decision, it made perfect sense. Ginny Weasley's story didn't end when the Second Wizarding War was over. While the movies left her as little more than Harry's love interest, the books showed that she had her own path to follow. She wasn't just the chosen one's wife. She built a life that proved she was a force to be reckoned with. After the war, Ginny didn't settle into a quiet domestic life. Instead, she pursued her dream, Quidditch. She joined the Holyhead Harpies, one of the most respected teams in the wizarding world. As a professional athlete, she traveled, trained, and competed at the highest level. The girl who once played Quidditch in the Weasley Orchard was now a rising star. J.K. Rowling confirmed in interviews that Ginny was a standout player, proving herself in a sport dominated by men, but she didn't stay in Quidditch forever. After several successful seasons, Ginny transitioned into journalism. She became the lead Quidditch correspondent for the Daily Prophetee. This wasn't just any writing job. She was covering international matches, interviewing the biggest names in the sport, and shaping the way the wizarding world saw the game. Her sharp mind and first-hand experience made her one of the most respected sports writers in magical Britain. Her family life was just as dynamic. She and Harry had 3 children, James Sirius, Albus Severus, and Lily Luna. Their home wasn't just a peaceful retreat, it was the center of a new era for the wizarding world. As the son of the most famous wizard in history, Albus struggled with his father's legacy. Ginny, always strong and level-headed, became a grounding force for him. Unlike Harry, who carried the trauma of war, Ginny had the ability to see things clearly. She balanced warmth with wisdom, guiding her children through a world that would always see them as Potter's kids. Her relationship with Harry remained steady. Unlike the dramatic ups and downs of his teenage years, their marriage was built on deep trust. Ginny never tried to control him or hold him back. She understood what it meant to fight for what was right. That's why, even after Voldemort's fall, she supported Harry's decision to work as an Auror. She knew he needed a purpose beyond being the boy who lived. At the same time, she made sure he wasn't swallowed by his past. But Ginny's story didn't end with the books. In Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, her role became even more important. When Albus struggled to find his place at Hogwarts, Ginny was the first to recognize how deeply it affected him. She wasn't just a mother watching from the sidelines. She took action. She confronted Harry when he failed to understand their son's pain. "You're still so wrapped up in your own fear that you can't see your son's," she told him. It was a rare moment when someone called Harry out, forcing him to see the damage he was causing. Many fans, however, didn't appreciate how the Cursed Child portrayed her. Some felt she was sidelined, playing a secondary role while the focus remained on Harry and Albus. Others argued that she wasn't given the depth she deserved. In the books, Ginny was fiery, independent, and full of life, but in the play she seemed to exist only to mediate conflicts between Harry and their son. The Ginny who once stood up to Death Eaters was now mostly delivering concerned dialogue. Despite this, her character remained true in one key aspect. She never stopped fighting for her family. When the past threatened to consume them, she was the one who held everything together. Whether facing Voldemort's war or the ghosts of Harry's trauma, she never wavered. She wasn't just Mrs. Potter. She was still Ginny Weasley, the girl who defied Tom Riddle, who took her fate into her own hands, and who, in her own quiet way, shaped the future